Welcome back to my channel Pocket Change Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures and learning about rare US coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we'll reveal some of the most valuable coins that could be worth far more than you think. Stick around till the end, you won't want to miss what these rare gems are really worth. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel to enjoy more discoveries in future. Let's dive in. We have an exciting topic that could have you searching through your coin collections or digging through your spare change in search of a true hidden gem. We're talking about the United States Liberty Wheat Penny from 1949, a coin that might look ordinary, but it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Stick around until the end, because we're about to reveal how much this unassuming penny could fetch if you have the right one. First, let's take a trip back in time to 1949. The United States had just come out of World War II, and the country was experiencing a time of growth and rebuilding. The wheat penny, which had been a staple of American currency for nearly 50 years, was still in circulation. Designed by famed sculptor Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny was a symbol of American heritage, with its iconic wheat stalks adorning the reverse side. It's hard to believe that such a small, everyday coin could hold such significant value today, but that's exactly what makes it so intriguing to collectors. The wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958, and it is beloved by collectors for its rich history and unique design. The obverse side of the coin features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which has become synonymous with American pennies. But it's the reverse side that stands out, with the two stalks of wheat, creating a simple yet powerful visual representation of the country's agricultural roots. While the design of the wheat penny may seem timeless, certain years and varieties can make a huge difference in terms of value. Now, let's talk specifically about the 1949 wheat penny. The 1949 penny was minted in large numbers, but it wasn't just another run-of-the-mill coin. What sets this coin apart from the rest is the fact that it was minted during a time when certain production issues and variations in the die could create a coin that's far more valuable than others. For instance, some 1949 wheat pennies were struck with minting errors that make them much rarer and more desirable to collectors. One of the most sought-after varieties of the 1949 penny is the one with a slight D mint mark, which was produced in Denver. However, there are also rare instances where certain 1949 pennies were produced with unique die errors. These errors might include doubling, off-center strikes, or even unusual metal compositions. These types of variations are what make this coin so fascinating. In the world of coin collecting, finding a coin with a minting flaw can significantly raise its value, as it becomes a one-of-a-kind piece. But it's not just about errors. Condition is key when it comes to rare coins. Most of the 1949 pennies you come across today are well-worn and show signs of being in circulation for decades. But for collectors, coins that are in mint or near mint condition are highly coveted. A coin that has been carefully stored, free from scratches, wear, or tarnish, will fetch much more than one that has been heavily circulated. This is especially true for coins like the 1949 wheat penny, which were produced in large quantities but rarely kept in pristine condition. So, what does all this mean in terms of value? You might be wondering, how much could a 1949 wheat penny really be worth? Well, if you have one in great condition, especially if it has a unique die error or is an especially rare variety, you could be sitting on a small fortune. While most 1949 wheat pennies might be worth only a few cents or a few dollars, there are some that have sold for incredible amounts at auctions. For a 1949 wheat penny in near perfect, uncirculated condition, especially with a rare error or a unique feature, it could be worth $170,000. Yes, that's right, $170,000 for a single penny. This is not a typo or exaggeration. Coins like this, in such exceptional condition and with those rare minting errors, have commanded astronomical prices in the collector's market. It just goes to show how much demand there is for rare coins and how valuable a seemingly ordinary penny can become. Now, you might be thinking, how do I know if my 1949 wheat penny could be worth this kind of money? The first step is to take a close look at the coin. Inspect the condition carefully, look for any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. If your coin looks well preserved with sharp details, it's worth getting it professionally graded by a coin expert. A grade from a reputable grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can give you a clearer idea of your coin's true value. The next step is to check for any potential minting errors. Errors like double die, off-center strikes, or any noticeable flaws in the design can make your 1949 wheat penny far more valuable. If you spot anything unusual, it might be worth reaching out to a professional coin appraiser to get a more accurate estimate of its value. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1949 wheat penny is one of those coins that can go from being an ordinary find to a small treasure. Whether you've been collecting for years or you've just started exploring the world of rare coins, the 1949 wheat penny is a coin worth keeping an eye out for. It's proof that sometimes the smallest coins can have the biggest value. Second rare coin, we've got an absolutely exciting topic that could have you rummaging through your coin jars or collections in search of a hidden gem. We're diving deep into the world of the 1945 Liberty wheat penny, an iconic piece of American currency that might look like just another regular penny to the untrained eye, but could actually be worth a small fortune. Stick with us till the end of this video, because we're about to reveal just how much this particular penny could fetch if you happen to have one in the right condition. Let's take a quick trip back to 1945. The world was coming to the end of World War II, and America was at the heart of the global transition to peace. In that time, everyday life continued, and coins like the Liberty wheat penny were still in circulation. The design, which had been around for decades, still featured the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse side and the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. It's a design that has become synonymous with American coins, representing both the agricultural roots of the country and the leadership of one of the greatest presidents in U.S. history. The Liberty wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, and over the years, it became one of the most beloved coins in American history. By the time we reach 1945, the wheat penny was still in production, but its days were numbered. In 1959, the design would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial penny, marking the end of the wheat penny era. That makes 1945, as the final years of the coin's run, particularly interesting for collectors. But here's where things get really interesting. The 1945 wheat penny, while produced in large quantities, is far from ordinary. For most of us, finding a 1945 penny might not seem like anything special. However, there are factors that can make this coin worth much more than its face value. You see, the value of a coin is influenced by several key factors: its rarity, its condition, and, in some cases, its minting errors. The first thing to note about the 1945 wheat penny is its overall mintage. In total, over 1 billion of these coins were struck in 1945, making them relatively common in terms of availability. However, the vast majority of these coins were used in circulation and, over the years, suffered the wear and tear of daily transactions. If you're lucky enough to find one that has been carefully preserved and is in near perfect or uncirculated condition, that's where the real value lies. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition are much rarer and, therefore, far more valuable than their worn counterparts. When a penny like the 1945 wheat is free from scratches, discoloration, or damage, it stands out to collectors who are seeking out the best specimens for their collections. An uncirculated or lightly circulated 1945 wheat penny can be worth significantly more than a penny that has been heavily worn, and those who have a keen eye for quality are willing to pay top dollar for these high-condition coins. Another important aspect that adds to the value of the 1945 wheat penny is the possibility of minting errors. Over the years, many 1945 pennies were struck with slight imperfections due to issues with the minting process. These errors can include things like double dies, where the design appears to be stamped twice, or off-center strikes, where the design is slightly misaligned. Minting errors, no matter how small, can turn an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collectible. Collectors love error coins because they are unique and add a distinct element of rarity to their collection. For example, some 1945 pennies feature what's known as the D/D mintmark error. This happens when a mintmark is struck over an existing one, resulting in a double mintmark on the coin. The D/D error is one of the most popular and valuable errors to look for in 1945 wheat pennies. If you happen to find a coin with this error, it could dramatically increase its value. So, how much could a 1945 wheat penny really be worth? While the majority of 1945 pennies are still worth their face value of just 1 cent, some coins, particularly those in mint condition or with significant minting errors, can be worth thousands of dollars. But here's the big reveal: if you have a 1945 wheat penny in exceptional condition, or one with a rare minting error like the D/D mintmark, you could be looking at a coin that's worth an eye-watering $160,000. Yes, you heard that right, $160,000 for a single penny. This might sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coins, these kinds of values are not as unusual as they seem. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that have historical significance, exceptional quality, or a rare flaw that makes them stand out from the rest. A 1945 wheat penny in excellent condition, or one with a minting error, could easily fetch an incredible price at auction or in private sales. Now, you may be wondering, how do I know if my 1945 wheat penny could be worth that much? The best way to determine the value of your coin is to inspect it carefully. Check for any signs of wear, scratches, or tarnishing. If your penny looks well preserved, it might be worth getting it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. Grading is an essential part of determining a coin's value, and a high-quality grade can make a huge difference in the final price. Also, take a closer look at the coin for any signs of minting errors. If you notice any unusual features, like a double mintmark or a misaligned strike, it could indicate that your penny is more valuable than you initially thought. When in doubt, having your coin appraised by a professional can give you a better idea of its true worth. The 1945 Liberty wheat penny is a perfect example of how seemingly ordinary coins can have extraordinary value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a beginner just starting out, this coin is one to watch for, especially if you're lucky enough to come across one in exceptional condition or with a minting error. Third expensive coin, we have a special treat for you: a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history. If you've ever stumbled upon a Liberty wheat penny from 1944 and thought it was just another penny, you may want to rethink that assumption. This seemingly simple coin might just be worth a small fortune. Stick with us through the video because we're about to reveal why this specific penny could be worth $200,000. Yes, you heard that right. Let's take a closer look at why the 1944 wheat penny is so special and how it became one of the most coveted coins in the world of numismatics. The Liberty wheat penny has been a staple of American currency since its debut in 1909. It's one of the most iconic and recognizable coins in U.S. history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny features a bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, and on the reverse, it showcases 2 stalks of wheat, a symbol of America's agricultural heritage. These pennies were made in large quantities throughout the 20th century, but some years stand out more than others. The 1944 wheat penny, in particular, holds a special place in the world of coin collecting. To understand why, let's first take a look at the historical context of the 1944 penny. The world was still in the midst of World War II during this time, and the U.S. Mint was working hard to produce coins for a country at war. There was a shortage of copper for minting, as copper was being diverted to the war effort for ammunition and other military needs. To adapt to this shortage, the U.S. Mint began producing pennies made primarily from steel coated in zinc. These steel pennies, known as steelies, were minted in 1943 and are considered a unique and rare variety in the series. However, by 1944, the copper shortage had eased, and the mint returned to using the familiar copper alloy for pennies. The 1944 wheat penny, minted in Denver, was struck using this copper material, making it a valuable part of the series. It wasn't a one-off minting error or a special commemorative issue, but its rarity lies in a few key factors that have to do with the number of coins minted, the condition of the coin, and some fascinating minting errors that have occurred with the 1944 D penny. Let's break down why this coin is so special. The first thing to note is that the 1944 D penny was minted in large quantities. Around 430 million coins were produced that year. So, it seems like this penny would be common, right? But here's the catch: over time, many of these pennies were used in circulation, worn down, and eventually lost in everyday transactions. The condition of these coins today is what truly sets them apart. Most of the 1944 D wheat pennies that you find in circulation are worn, scuffed, or corroded. But coins that have been kept in excellent condition, especially in uncirculated or near-mint condition, are highly sought after by collectors. A penny that has been carefully preserved and kept free from damage or wear can fetch a significantly higher price, especially in the case of a coin that was minted in such large quantities. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. The D on the 1944 D wheat penny signifies that it was minted at the Denver Mint. This mint mark adds to the coin's uniqueness, as different mints produce different varieties of coins each year. The 1944 D penny is one of the most common among the 1944 series, but when found in pristine condition, it's definitely one of the most valuable. But what really elevates the value of some of these 1944 D wheat pennies are the rare minting errors. Coins with minting flaws are highly coveted by collectors because they are one of a kind. The 1944 D penny was prone to a number of fascinating errors, including double die strikes, off-center strikes, and die clashes. The most famous of these errors is the D over D mint mark, which occurs when the mint mark was struck twice, leaving a noticeable doubling effect. This error is a true treasure for collectors, as it's a rare find and can dramatically increase the coin's value. Minting errors in general are one of the driving forces behind the value of rare coins. If you happen to find a 1944 D penny with one of these minting flaws, it could push the value of the coin into the tens of thousands of dollars or more. But even without a minting error, a well-preserved 1944 D wheat penny can still be worth a substantial amount, especially if it's in mint condition. So, how much is the 1944 D wheat penny worth? The general consensus is that most 1944 D pennies are worth anywhere from a few cents to a few dollars, depending on their condition. However, if you happen to find one in pristine, uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error, the value of the coin can skyrocket. Some 1944 D wheat pennies with unique errors have been known to sell for prices in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now, the big reveal: if you have a 1944 D wheat penny in exceptional condition, or even better, one with a rare error, it could be worth $200,000. Yes, $200,000 for a single penny. It might sound hard to believe, but in the world of coin collecting, the right penny in the right condition can command a staggering price. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare and well-preserved coins, and the 1944 D wheat penny is one of those coins that can turn an ordinary collection into an extraordinary one. If you're wondering how to determine if your 1944 D penny might be worth this amount, the first step is to carefully inspect the condition of the coin. Look for signs of wear and tear, but also pay attention to any minting errors or unique characteristics. If you believe your penny might be special, it's worth getting it graded by a professional. A coin's grade can significantly impact its value, so don't hesitate to have an expert take a look. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1944 D wheat penny is a perfect example of how a simple penny can have incredible worth. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, always keep your eyes peeled for those hidden treasures. They could be worth far more than you think. Now, we've got something truly exciting to talk about: an iconic piece of American history that may be hiding in your coin jar right now. Yes, we're talking about the 1953 Liberty Wheat Penny, a coin that might seem like just another penny at first glance but could actually be worth a small fortune. Stick with us until the end of this video, because we're about to reveal why this simple, everyday coin could be worth $140,000. You won't want to miss it. let's take a trip back in time to 1953. The world was in the midst of the post-war era, and the United States was experiencing a time of prosperity and growth. The 1950s were a booming decade for the economy, technology, and culture. It was the age of rock and roll, television, and suburban growth. But while the world was changing around them, American coins were still maintaining their iconic designs. Among those coins was the Liberty Wheat Penny, which had been in circulation since 1909. The reverse of the coin, featuring two stalks of wheat, had been a constant for decades and was cherished as part of the American identity. By 1953, the Liberty Wheat Penny was nearing the end of its production run. Just a few years later, in 1959, the design would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Penny. So, the 1953 Wheat Penny is one of the last coins in this series, and that makes it particularly interesting to collectors. It also means that this coin holds a special place in numismatic history. But here's the kicker: while the 1953 Wheat Penny may seem like just another common coin, there's much more to it than meets the eye. First, let's talk about the mintage of the 1953 Wheat Penny. This coin was produced in very large quantities. Around 672 million of them were struck that year. In terms of availability, this makes the 1953 penny quite common. But here's the twist: while the mintage is high, the condition of the coin is what truly affects its value. Most of the 1953 pennies that were in circulation for years were subject to wear and tear, becoming scuffed, scratched, and tarnished with age. So, finding one in excellent or uncirculated condition is much rarer than you might think. That's where the value lies. Coins that have been well preserved, kept in pristine condition, and free from damage are far more valuable than those that have been used for years in daily transactions. If you've come across a 1953 Wheat Penny that looks almost brand new, then you found something special. It's the coins that have survived in near-perfect condition that are the real treasures for collectors. If you're lucky enough to have one of these gems in your collection, you could be sitting on a hidden fortune, but that's not all. The 1953 Wheat Penny, like other coins, can sometimes have rare minting errors that make them even more valuable. Minting errors can occur for a variety of reasons, such as issues with the die used to strike the coin, misalignment of the strike, or even mistakes with the mint mark. When a penny like this is struck with a minting error, it turns into a one-of-a-kind item that collectors absolutely covet. For the 1953 Wheat Penny, some of the most notable errors include double dies and off-center strikes. A double die error occurs when the design is struck twice, causing a doubled image on the coin. This is a particularly exciting error for collectors, as it's relatively rare and makes the coin stand out among others. Off-center strikes happen when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that's shifted or misaligned. This is another fascinating error that adds to the coin's uniqueness and can boost its value. These minting errors are highly desirable because they make the coin stand out from the millions of other 1953 Wheat Pennies that were struck. If you happen to find a 1953 penny with an unusual feature like a double die or off-center strike, it could be worth far more than you expect. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for error coins, as they are rare and highly sought after. Now, let's get to the most exciting part: how much is the 1953 Liberty Wheat Penny worth? While most 1953 wheat pennies are worth just a few cents, especially if they've been heavily circulated or are in poor condition, the value skyrockets if you have one in exceptional condition or with a minting error. High-quality examples of the 1953 penny, particularly those that are uncirculated or show minimal signs of wear, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. But here's the real surprise: if you have a 1953 wheat penny in excellent condition, or one with a rare minting error like a double die or off-center strike, it could be worth $140,000. Yes, $140,000 for a single penny. While this might sound unbelievable, in the world of rare coins, this kind of value is entirely possible. Collectors who are passionate about numismatics are constantly on the lookout for coins like this, and they're willing to pay a premium for the best specimens. So, how can you tell if your 1953 wheat penny is worth that kind of money? The first step is to carefully inspect it. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. A well-preserved coin that still has its original luster and sharp details is far more valuable than a worn-down penny. Next, check for any unusual features or minting errors. If your penny has a double die, off-center strike, or any other irregularities, it could be worth much more than a regular 1953 wheat penny. If you're unsure about the value of your coin, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a certified coin grading service. A coin's grade plays a crucial role in determining its value, so getting an expert's opinion can help you understand just how much your penny is really worth. The 1953 Liberty Wheat Penny is a prime example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can hold extraordinary value. Whether it's the excellent condition or the potential for minting errors, this penny is a must-watch for collectors and treasure hunters alike. You never know when you might come across a rare find that could change your life. Next coin as we explore one of the most interesting and valuable coins in American history, the 1954 Liberty Wheat Penny. Now, you may be wondering, what makes this penny so special? Well, if you've ever thought that this 1-cent coin was just another piece of pocket change, you might be surprised to find out that it could be worth a small fortune. Stick with us until the end of this video, because we're going to reveal how much this penny could be worth, $110,000 to be exact. The 1954 Wheat Penny is part of the iconic Liberty series that graced American pockets for decades. From its inception in 1909, the wheat penny quickly became a symbol of the nation's agricultural roots, featuring 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse side. For many years, the wheat penny was a staple in American currency, with millions produced each year. But as time went on, the coin evolved, and by 1954, it was nearing the end of its long production run, eventually being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Penny in 1959. The 1954 Wheat Penny was minted in Denver, marked with the D mint mark, which signifies that it was struck at the Denver Mint. But why does this coin, which was produced in such large quantities, have collectors excited today? The answer lies in its rarity, its condition, and the fascinating history that surrounds it. Let's start with the basics. The mintage of the 1954 Wheat Penny was relatively high, with over 1 billion coins produced that year. So, at first glance, it might seem like these coins are easy to come by. However, the key to understanding their value is condition. Most of the 1954 wheat pennies you'll encounter are well worn, as they've been circulated through countless transactions over the years. Coins that have been handled repeatedly show signs of wear, including scratches, discoloration, and fading details. In fact, finding a 1954 penny that's in pristine condition is a rare occurrence, and this rarity is exactly what makes it so valuable. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that has been well preserved and remains close to its original mint state is much more valuable than one that has suffered from years of circulation. For the 1954 wheat penny, examples that are in mint condition, especially those that show no signs of wear and retain their original luster, are the true treasures in the world of numismatics. These coins stand out because they've been kept in excellent shape, either through careful storage or by being kept out of circulation altogether. Now, let's take it a step further. Sometimes, certain coins from a given year can have rare minting errors that make them even more desirable to collectors. The 1954 wheat penny is no exception. Minting errors can occur for various reasons, such as issues with the coin's die or the alignment of the press used to strike the coins. These errors can result in fascinating and unique variations of the coin, making them incredibly valuable. One of the most exciting errors associated with the 1954 penny is the possibility of a double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck twice by the same die, causing the design to appear doubled. This error is particularly sought after because it gives the coin a distinctive look that stands out among other pennies. If you happen to have a 1954 wheat penny with a double die error, you could be sitting on a true numismatic gem. In addition to the double die error, there are also other types of minting errors that can make the 1954D wheat penny more valuable. These include off-center strikes, die cracks, and even coins with misaligned mint marks. Minting flaws like these make each coin unique, which is why error coins are so prized by collectors. If you have a 1954D penny with one of these rare errors, it could significantly increase the value of the coin, sometimes even making it worth far more than the average penny. So, how much could the 1954D wheat penny actually be worth? Well, as we mentioned earlier, most 1954D pennies are worth just a few cents, depending on their condition. But that's not the end of the story. A coin in exceptional condition, one that has been carefully preserved and is in near mint or uncirculated state, can fetch a much higher price. The real value comes into play when you find one with a rare minting error or a particularly outstanding condition, and here's where things get really exciting. If you have a 1954D wheat penny in perfect condition, or even better, one that carries a rare minting error, it could be worth an astonishing $110,000. Yes, $110,000 for a single penny. While this might sound unbelievable, the world of rare coin collecting has seen coins like this go for incredible sums at auctions. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins in exceptional condition or those that feature minting errors, and they are willing to pay top dollar to add these rare pieces to their collections. To determine if your 1954D wheat penny is worth that much, you'll want to carefully examine its condition. Look for any signs of wear, discoloration, or scratches. A coin that still has sharp details, clear lettering, and its original luster is a much more valuable find than a coin that's been heavily circulated. And of course, if you find any unusual features like a double die or off-center strike, you'll definitely want to have it professionally graded. If you're unsure about the value of your coin, the best step is to have it graded by a professional coin grading service. The grade of a coin plays a huge role in determining its value, and getting an expert's opinion can help you understand just how much your 1954D wheat penny could be worth. The 1954D wheat penny is a prime example of how an everyday coin can hold significant value. Whether it's the excellent condition or a rare minting error, this penny can be worth far more than most people realize. For collectors, finding a 1954D wheat penny in exceptional condition or with a minting error is like finding a hidden treasure. Especially, we've got something truly special to talk about, an American classic that could be worth far more than you might expect. That's right, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1957 Liberty wheat penny. A coin that many people overlook, yet one that could be sitting in your coin jar right now, waiting to make you a small fortune. Stick with us until the end, because we're about to reveal how this simple 1-cent coin could be worth $90,000. Let's take a step back in time to 1957. The United States was experiencing a post-war boom, and the economy was growing rapidly. It was the era of rock and roll, drive-ins, and the rise of suburbia. But while the world was changing, the U.S. Mint was still producing coins like the 1957 Liberty wheat penny, which had been a staple in American currency since 1909. The design of the coin, featuring the iconic image of 2 stalks of wheat, was loved by many and remained in circulation for decades. By 1957, the Wheat Penny series was nearing its end. Just a couple of years later, in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial design would replace the wheat stalks on the reverse, marking the end of an era. But before that change came, the 1957 Wheat Penny was produced in huge numbers. In fact, over 1 billion of these coins were minted that year. So, at first glance, it might seem like the 1957 penny is just another common coin, but that's where things get interesting. While the mintage numbers for the 1957 Wheat Penny are high, the real value of this coin comes from its condition and rarity. Like many coins that were heavily circulated, most of the 1957 pennies you'll find are worn, scratched, and damaged from years of handling. The key to finding value in this coin lies in finding one that's been well preserved, preferably one that has been kept in excellent condition and remains free from the usual signs of wear. Coins that have been carefully stored, kept out of circulation, or simply protected from the rigors of daily transactions are far more valuable than their worn counterparts. The 1957 wheat penny, in particular, becomes much more valuable when it is in near-perfect or uncirculated condition. If you come across one of these gems, you've likely found something that could make your coin collection stand out from the rest, but it doesn't end there. In addition to finding a well-preserved 1957 wheat penny, there are also rare minting errors that can make this coin worth a lot more than its face value. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin production process, such as the die misstriking the coin, creating double images, off-center strikes, or even misaligned mint marks. These errors are often one-of-a-kind and are highly coveted by collectors. One of the most exciting errors associated with the 1957 wheat penny is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, resulting in a doubled image on the coin. A double die error can make the lettering, numbers, or even the image of Abraham Lincoln appear blurry or shifted, making the coin stand out and increasing its value significantly. These kinds of errors are rare, but if you're lucky enough to find one, it could drastically increase the worth of your 1957 penny. Another possible error that collectors look for in 1957 wheat pennies is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to shift. An off-center strike creates a coin with an unusual, irregular look that makes it unique and highly collectible. If you have a 1957 wheat penny with one of these errors, you could have a coin that's worth far more than a regular penny. Now, let's talk about the real money-making aspect of this coin. The 1957 wheat penny is often considered one of the last truly valuable coins in the wheat series, mainly due to the fact that it was produced in high numbers but was also one of the last to be minted before the Lincoln Memorial design took over. This gives the coin a special place in history, and collectors are always looking to add it to their collections. So, how much could a 1957 wheat penny be worth? While most of these pennies are valued at just a few cents, the value can skyrocket if you have a coin in excellent condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error. In fact, a well-preserved 1957 wheat penny, especially one with a double die or off-center strike, could fetch a staggering price. Now, for the big reveal, if you're fortunate enough to own a 1957 wheat penny that's in perfect condition or features a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a coin worth $90,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. This seemingly ordinary 1-cent coin could be worth a life-changing amount of money if it's in the right condition or carries a unique error. Of course, finding a 1957 wheat penny in such excellent condition is a rare find, but if you happen to come across one, it could be worth much more than you ever imagined. To determine if your 1957 wheat penny is worth that much, start by carefully examining its condition. Check for any signs of wear, discoloration, or scratches. Coins that still have their original luster and sharp details are much more valuable than those that have been heavily circulated. And if you spot any unusual features, such as double dies or off-center strikes, make sure to get it professionally graded by a coin expert. If you're lucky enough to find a 1957 wheat penny that fits the bill, you could be holding on to an incredibly valuable piece of American history. And who knows? Your coin could end up being the gem that takes your collection to the next level. Thank you so much for joining us today as we uncovered the value of the 1957 wheat penny. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all our future coin discoveries. You never know when your next treasure will turn up, so keep looking. Until next time, happy collecting.